Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Mattawan, New Jersey. We're back after all the I just don't want to. I'm going to try to refrain from cursing for a couple minutes in case the algorithms pick that up. It is Sturch by myself, not riding solo completely, just solo on camera because I'm an egotistical maniac that needs to just be on camera and nobody else is allowed to share this kind of spotlight with me. It is Sturch. Behind the glass, we have Wrestling Rob. We also have our intern, Nick, who is also in the building. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I'm sorry for yesterday. What a bunch of baloney that was. Shout out to Optimum, who I've been shouting out constantly over the last, couple months about how good their quality, service is and their customer service. And I can get into all that. But again, there's so many more things to talk about that's going to fire me up anyway. So if I keep talking about Optimum, I'm going to lose my mind. So shout out to Optimum. You guys are absolutely awful. Break Buds, big success. I wanted to talk about that yesterday. Big success on Sunday night. You can follow over Break.Buds. Break.Buds on Instagram. Yep. Go follow that page, bro. They gave away, well, they didn't give away. It was actually, bidded for, but only $10 it cost Scoop to get a signed Trevor Lawrence massive helmet, alternate helmet. This shit is dope. So go check out the Break Buds. That was a good success. So Joey and Chris Gooch all over that one. Also today, we dropped a brand new Fight Factory podcast over on the Chop Sports Podcast Network. You can find that. You can find Arcadia. My friend Matt Revel was the guest with me and Rob. We sat down with him, learned all about the Quest, some new promotion, or at least an idea, concept of professional wrestling.
Very cool idea.
Very, very dope idea. I loved it. Floptimum. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
100%.
They're Floptimum. I like that. It's very NBA-esque. But yeah, so shout out to Floptimum as well. So yes, Chop Sports Fight Factory. Go check those guys out. I say those guys, it's me and Rob. As we got Arcadia on there describing all things the Quest. This morning's been productive. Yesterday, my eyes were going crossed. Curtis Sells Houses, our boy Kurt, was in here on Sunday for a rental in the morning. He wanted to do some more content for EXP Realty and those experts over there. So I helped him out. Me and Gooch helped him film the stuff. I've been editing stuff. My eyes were going completely crossed. I was just like, I can't look at any more film. This is, it's just radio face Rob. You know, it's funny. It's funny. Florida Mike had told me, like, he literally just went out and said, like, bro, you got to give him some airtime. I was like, he doesn't want it. Like, if he did, he'd be sitting here.
When I want.
Yeah, and I think I knocked
it. Was my idea too.
It was your idea.
We weren't going to do the show that day.
Rob Joy Taylor is over here doing his thing behind the scenes, so let him produce the goddamn show.
Check out. We have stuff on the Fight Factory of Rob doing stuff on camera.
Right. If you want to see Rob's grill, go check out the Fight Factory. We have 2 episodes up on the Chop Sports YouTube channel, the same channel you're watching right now. There's one with Casey Navarro, and then there's one with
the Raw. August Artois.
So you can go check out Rob's face over there. So now you're stuck with me for the next at least 45 to 50. Anyway, Curtis Sells Houses. We submitted today, Chop Sports Media and the Chop Studio submitted today to be a part of the New Jersey Motion Picture and Television Commission. So I would love for people to just come over here and film a movie or film a TV show from our spot and pay us some rent. That'd be cool. So anyway. Going to the comments real quick. Ken Palmer, what do you say?
Because I said I didn't go because I didn't shave my mustache, but I still didn't shave my mustache.
And it looks like Rob doesn't mind being on camera next to Tom. Well, yeah, no, I mean Tommy he ruins everything. But Tommy was not on the show yesterday. He is on assignment. I don't know what that means. He's working abroad, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter. But go check those things out. If you want to support Chop Sports, you can do so. And it's actually very beneficial now to jump on this. And that's the patreon.com/Chop Sports. That's how to get involved with Chop Sports. There's a $3, a $5, a $10 increment. That's how to get involved. That's also how to get into these free giveaways that these guys are doing on the Break Buds every single week. Guys were giving away like some of the greatest stuff that they pulled the other day was so money. It was absolutely money. So go check out Patreon. It's literally as low as $3 a month.
$3 get you in,
bro. And you can find yourself with a brand new Trevor Lawrence signed helmet, which is now worth, apparently, according to others, anywhere between $500 and $1,000
the
right
one
now.
Helmet right now was selling for like $850. When we pulled,
and what if he blows up?
Yeah,
what if he becomes a Hall of Famer?
Even if
he can shit the bed.
Even if you're just in the room on Break Buds, those guys were feeling generous. They were giving spots away for free.
It was a lot of fun.
Likes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely show up.
A lot of fun for that. as far as the rundown, there is a lot of stuff going on because obviously we missed yesterday and we're here today. Right before the show started, Nick, my good intern over here, showed me a tweet from ESPN. So breaking news, the NBA will not be scheduling any games on Election Day. Nobody actually gives a shit. Like, this is like, it's incredible to me that the NBA are like puffing their chest out right now. Like, we want everybody out there to vote. We don't want to play any games. Like, and Rob's like, wait a minute. Like, don't the games tip off at like 8:30 at night? Like, the polls are closed anyway. What is the NBA trying to do here? You're a bunch of jokes, bro. It's just so stupid. Like, you want to be the first ones to say, like, oh, we want to encourage everybody to vote. Go vote on your lunch break, dude. Like, what's happening?
Like an adult, right? Or like
anybody.
And it's only 10 games into the season,
bro. Like,
what's going on?
Like,
right
I had people tweeting back at me like, "Oh well, you know, this whole team missed it." Oh yeah, what were you doing at 2 p.m. besides not warming up or anything like that? Listen, stop, dude. This is such a just a stupid. I don't know.
Are the players going to be at the polls too? Is that what?
That's why they're doing this. That's why they're doing this. The players need to vote. So, you know, whatever. Anyway, so that's the NBA voting. So anyway, let's see. The Yankees still suck, apparently, according to sources, because they can't win a baseball game. I'm still, for one, not worried. Everybody else is going crazy about the Yankees losing a bunch of games, not playing well, not scoring runs, not hitting the baseball. I like the fire that I saw at Rizzo yesterday. That was a complete fugazi call. The Mets got the shit kicked out of them as well, which happens. I mean, just like that. Were there any Mets fans out there yesterday going like, oh, Jesus Christ, we just lost to the Braves. The world is fucking falling. Like, no, it's just a bad stretch. And every team goes through this. And it just so happens that the Yankees are going through this right now. And that's that. I'm not worried about it.
Well, it makes you question
what?
they have to do something about Hicks.
Oh yeah,
that's been a thing for a couple years.
I know.
The problem is he has a team-friendly deal, right? Which I say team-friendly. I think he's making $10 million over 4 years. So $40 million they spent on Aaron Hicks. You talk about the greatest heist of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, $70 million deal.
He made some serious do-re-mi to suck. And that's taking words right out of Gianni's mouth. He just sucks. He really does. Can't hit the baseball. He got put in a blender yesterday. Did anybody see that fly ball? The ball goes up. He's like this. He's like, oh, shit. No, wait, hold on. Ah, shit. Like, he lost it 4 times in the air. I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I've seen Gooch make better plays in center field on our softball team than Aaron Hicks did yesterday. My God. Yankees suck, according to James Rube. Well, that's not breaking news. Still Ellsbury. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Ellsbury. Mets have won 17 over the last 23. Nothing bad over here. You're right. Anybody else see the video of my godson coming out to the trumpets?
I did see it.
That's my dad's idea. He's like, all of a sudden, like, my brother takes him out of the pool area, and I'm like, well, we all been sitting here for, like, you know, we're all partying already, and all of a sudden, like, my dad puts it on the Bluetooth, and I'm like,
comes walking
Jesus
out.
Christ, did you really have to do this? And my bonus mom was like, your father's been practicing this for a week. Just let him have his moment. And I was like, have it, Pop, have it. I think it was hilarious. So shout out to little Dan Man, who had his second birthday the other day. Anyway, Hicks looking worse in the field than the kids in the Little League World Series. Yeah, no, you know what actually Hicks looks like? Hicks looks like all the kids that are in the outfield for the home run derby when they're all just like, I got it. And like the ball just fucking lands behind them, or they just don't know where it is. That's how bad that is. So that's how bad he's gotten. I don't know what you do. I mean, look, you already shipped off Gallo, and all of a sudden he's hitting the cover off the ball. And I say it's in the beard. I know you guys don't want to believe me when I say that, but let these players look and feel how they want to feel. Let the Yankees grow their beards out. Let the Yankees have tattoos. Let them, like Deion Sanders said it best, my favorite player of all time, prime time. You look good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. You know what I mean? So let them do their thing. It's 2022. It's time to go like, oh, that's the Yankee way. Like, no, man. Yeah. I remember Enterprise Rent-A-Car, one of my jobs, because they gave me the tools to be my own boss. One of my first jobs I had was Enterprise, and the first thing they made me do was shave. They're like, we need you clean cut. And I said, clean cut? And I had to do it. And then you saw every single one of my chins because I was like 400 pounds heavier back then. But it's like, wait a minute, like clean cut.
Yeah. It's like the military.
They got rid of it, according to sources. You know, they got rid of their rules, so Yankees can get rid of theirs. Not the Yankee way, according to that. Yeah.
What's up with Stan right now?
He's the problem with Stan, he's on his way back, but it's an Achilles injury. So like, that's tough. you don't want to push it because the Yankees are still, look, I know you guys are like, oh, Yankees still, there's still 10 games up in the East. They're going to win the East and they're going to run away with the 1 or the 2. If you want to be the 2, it's the 2, whatever. You're not even going to fall out of that. So to rush these guys back right now in the middle of August, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that's why I'm not like, oh my God, like I can't believe they're not hitting the ball. Like, okay, they will when it counts. The Yankees will be in the ALCS against the Astros. And I firmly believe that despite the fact that the Astros have beaten them a bunch this year and we can't seem to get over that hump, Subway Series, I called it back 3 months ago. I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What else we got besides baseball? LSU quarterback, was it Miles? Great name, by the way. Miles Brennan. He's stepping away from football, so go Tigers. Good luck with that shit, not having your quarterback. Ben Simmons. So this is funny. Ben Simmons is actually getting a portion of his $20 million paid back to him in a settlement from the Brooklyn Nets for sitting out last year.
Good for him, man.
From the Sixers.
What a
from
win.
the Sixers.
Oh, from the Sixers.
Yeah.
The Sixers are paying that. Another bitch. Like another guy.
Money, yeah.
Dude, why do we? I can't spend too much time on Ben Simmons because I really don't care. I will shout out Kevin Durant, who always seems to call out people if he's being wrong. Somebody was like, oh, according to what I heard, Kevin Durant would rather retire than ever play for the Nets again. And Kevin Durant was like, bitch, who are you talking about? Because I didn't say that ever. You know, it's like, it's ridiculous when like these media guys, they get the credentials and then they go in there and they're like, oh, you know, he said this. No, he fucking didn't. He didn't say it at all.
They're so scared to like fact check. They want to be the first person to put it out.
Right,
and
100%.
Just fact check, dude. Just fact check.
100%.
I'd rather fact check than look stupid like that. You know what I mean?
Speaking of wrestling, we were talking about wrestling before, like pro wrestling being that we talked to Arcadia. There seems to be a WCW versus NWO thing going on right now. It looks like Tiger Woods is banding all the guys together for the PGA Tour to go against the LIV, the NWO, in a cross interdimensional battle.
Winner take all?
No, I think it's just like
that, though?
Can you imagine that?
You'd watch that?
Yo, I watched that.
But here's the thing. And they're all mic'd up?
Yeah. Sign me all the way up.
Well, put that on pay-per-view.
Put it on pay-per-view. $5. People will be like, take my money. And then guys like Tommy D would still find a stream.
But for real though, like yo,
I would watch that.
They don't want
LIV. I only watch golf when I'm with my brother. You know, like, and he's like a golf head, and he thinks all the LIV guys are a joke for jumping ship like that. So he's pro PGA. I'm pro. Go get your bag. Like if the LIV is giving out blood money to go, like everything is blood money, bro. There's people out there serving tables right now. That's blood money. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I don't know. I would not. I don't consider that wrong. I don't consider anything that the LIV guys are doing wrong. They're making their money. Go get yours. I'm for it. Walker Buehler, another thing, out for the year, right? Dodgers pitcher, not Tommy John, but now Nick, you said they don't even know the extent of the injury.
Yeah, once the
professional baseball team does not know the extent of their star pitcher's injury.
Sounds like hockey.
What are we doing? Right. It does sound like hockey. Undisclosed upper body, right? Like, what do you mean upper body? It's a concussion. You know, like, what are you talking about?
So they don't know how it happened, or they just don't.
No, they know. They don't know the severity of the injury.
He's been hurt. They just don't know the extent of what's going on with his elbow. Apparently, it's not Tommy John, so whatever. Walker Buehler out. One thing we didn't talk about yesterday because we didn't have a fucking show was the Tatis suspension. Gets suspended for 80 games for PEDs, steroids, whatever you want to call it. I don't know exactly what he took. I read the article. It doesn't matter. What I will say is he thought it was the cure for ringworm, which is like, you don't have to be ignorant. You just don't. And I don't know, like, who told you that, or your agent, or somebody convinced you to say that in front of national TV and in front of reporters, and you're getting the wrong advice. And then your dad comes out there and fires back today and saying it's something so insignificant. Huh?
His mom posted too.
Well, whoever going to bat for their son,
videos,
no pun.
Yeah, posted videos of like the ringworm on his neck, showing that he had ringworm.
Well,
okay, but the fucking thing had steroids in it.
No, I get
Listen, how many times do people go to the doctor and they're like, yeah, they gave me a steroid? You know, like, it's a common thing. But if it's a banned substance, don't take it. There's got to be other ways. Wash your body. I don't know. It's ringworm.
Ken Palmer coming in saying they found out his lawyer was lying.
Oh my God.
Saying it's because it was because of a haircut, which you could get ringworm from getting a haircut, especially if you're using like dirty clippers, like on different people. But that's no excuse for steroids. My question to you is: listen, like, professional sports, baseball especially, PEDs has been an issue for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most time PEDs are taken.
Came prominent around 98 when McGuire was knocking the snot out of the ball. Yeah.
But most PEDs are taken. HGH, for instance, is taken to help an injury, to help you get back. I understand people don't really understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there could be a way where maybe down the line in the next 5 to 10 years, they could incorporate a way to check levels to make it so players can use a form of HGH?
I think that's where it should. I think that's where it should be right now.
Like
clearly, if you're as somebody who knows a little bit of something about this stuff, right? As somebody who knows something about this, you can raise your levels even naturally without even taking things. So when you get tested and your levels come back a little crazy, people are like, oh, well, he's got this, like whatever. He has ringworm and didn't take PEDs. What? So what the fuck is he he's suspended.
He took some medication that's not sold in the United States that had close to ball in it, which is an anabolic steroid.
That's a performance enhancing drug. It's not that's on the ban list, so that's it. You're done. But it doesn't matter. Chewing coke.
Hey, Nick,
You're not false.
Nick,
what?
Check the door. I think I just heard somebody.
Go that way.
Yeah, that way. Yeah.
Anyway, if it is somebody from Optimum, be sure to
look out the window too.
Make sure you just let me know. But anyway, so yes, we're waiting for Optimum, by the way, as we do this live show. Is there anybody there? Probably not. I want to say no. I'm gonna wait for Nick's update here. The hours between 11 and 2, usually they come right around the last minute of the window. Go check out Gooch's window too, bro.
Yeah, just in case.
He's got the view. He's got the office with the view. I got Route 34 in my ear.
Scoop is saying what he's saying is Buster only said Buster only had ringworm. He said he got it from working on the farm, but he didn't take PEDs to get rid of it.
Got it.
Which is just crazy for me, man.
You see any trucks out there? No? All right, good. So anyway, what I think you should be able to do with steroids and that is that you should be able to take whatever you want, but to an extent of your levels cannot be X.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, because if guys are pumping like 500 milligrams of, let's just say, straight test a week, you're going to be out of your mind, right? You're going to be out of your mind. Somebody who takes 100 a week, you're just kind of getting your body levels right, and you're trying to better yourself, or you're trying to recover faster. That's where I stand on PEDs. I don't know.
See, my whole thing with this is
baseball.
Just fucking admit that you took it and be done with it.
Well, A-Rod did it. A-Rod did that. They still suspended his ass.
Who else was in that? It was A-Rod. Wasn't it like Francisco Cervelli and a bunch of other
Cervelli?
I think he was in that.
He took steroids?
Yeah.
Didn't show. He had to hit the ball twice to get it out of the freaking ballpark. Are you kidding me?
Holy
shit.
Just fucking admit to it and say, okay, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Instead of doing this whole, I used to get rid of ringworm. I used to get rid of this shit. And this shit is just like.
Anyway, speaking of not getting suspended, Alvin Kamara will probably avoid suspension this year. So you can beat the shit out of somebody in Vegas and not even have a court case hearing. It keeps getting pushed off. This thing's going to be pushed probably all the way to the midseason just to get the hearing. So more than likely, from what Gooch was telling me yesterday, it doesn't seem like Alvin Kamara will be suspended in 2022, which is kind of nuts. If you think about it, considering all the shit they're going through with Watson, they're like, all right, we should probably get something right here. And it looks like Watson, that whole thing I haven't heard anything on that. No. And they're appealing everything, even though Roger Goodell is literally judge, jury, and executioner. So he can just kind of drop the gavel and be like, that's it. You're done. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Do you think they're waiting for the court case to be up to suspend them, or
what court case?
Doesn't he have to go to court?
No, there's a whole process, and that's why you can't get that. But you would assume that with all the Watson stuff happening, you would expedite this a little bit.
The Pro Bowl. How does that embarrass the Shield? But
it was, my man joked up. That's like he beat the shit out of somebody. Again,
you can help murder someone and get in a Canton.
That's true.
That is true too.
I've researched that, like, so many videos
of Ray.
Like.
That's a hell of a story.
It's still so sketchy.
I'm talking like 10 different videos, and like, oh man, it's crazy.
That story. That's a podcast for another day. You should actually just do a crime podcast.
Wild.
Anyway, Carl Nassib to the Bucks. Scoop actually called that the other day when we were doing a preview for the Buccaneers. He said, Carl Nassib, he's just not going to play center. So that's not going to happen. He's going to play defensive line. That's it for that. So also, as we move on, there's been obviously 1 week of preseason football comes and goes, right? So now we're already in week 2. Guys are back to practice already. Week 1, there were a couple storylines that kind of jumped off the charts. One being when I was out on Friday night at Brett Ernst's comedy show in New Brunswick, I got a text from my dad, Zach Wilson did something. And I was like, oh my God, like no way. And then like somebody else texted me right away. So I had to take to Twitter right away. Non-contact. You start thinking, holy shit, like the Jet season is about to end before it starts. This is going to be nuts. But according to what everybody's saying, it's a what the hell was it? I mean, he blew his meniscus out, right? I've done that.
Same injury he had last year.
Okay, so same injury, 2 to 4 weeks is what they're saying.
Yep.
But could it be Flacco time? The elite Joe Flacco might be starting week 1 against the Ravens. Oh my God. Talk about poetic.
Not.
Joe Flacco against the Ravens, his former team. My God. It would have been like the story writes itself.
This offense is better fit for someone like Joe Flacco because it is a lot of dink and dunk and it relies heavy on the run game. So it's kind of, the same thing for him. But I tell you what, I watched the Jets and the Eagles drove right down the field on them. The first team defense literally drove down the field.
The Eagle, was it Jalen Hurts?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was. Okay.
Literally just.
All right. Great.
And
they might be good.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown won't see any more preseason action from what I read today. So he got his due. Speaking of Ravens, J.K. Dobbins back at practice this week. So that's big. Fantasy implications there, obviously. Since we did get pushed, by the way, programming note, we got pushed today to the Lions, and then we'll finish off on Friday with the Packers. I'm sure Gooch is licking his chops for that one. But at the same time, I do want to put some fantasy spins on Friday. Believe it or not, we did that whole mock draft on Friday, which was great. Highly received. I
loved it.
And it was fun. But then I traded out of the 12th spot. I traded up to 5.
Now we get to do it.
Now we do it at 5. I'm with that. I'm so with that. Actually, the draft is this. Is it this? Yes, it's this Sunday. So we'll definitely have to do it on Friday. Brown center out for the year, in case anybody cares. J.C. Treader was actually already rumored to be re-linked up with the Browns. Jeff Okudah finally got some reps with the Lions. He missed the entire year last year with an Achilles injury. The Packers getting healthy. Jenkins, Tanyan, Christian Watson, all off the pup. Same with Randy Gregory of the Broncos, so he's back. There are some position battles to keep your eye on, and we talked about this last week a little bit. Drew Lock, Geno Smith. Everybody seems to be pointing at Geno to be a starting quarterback of the Seahawks. I was like, put some respect on Drew Lock's name. Then he fumbled. You don't fumble in your May only opportunity to show Pete Carroll and company what you got. You can't fuck up at all.
The fact that Geno Smith is still in the NFL and Colin Kaepernick isn't it just blows my mind.
What? You know, at this point, dude, at this point, look, I know Kaepernick's getting tryouts and shit, but maybe he's just not good enough. Like NFL's a hard thing to be in.
How long before
I don't think it's a whole thing anymore with the whole whatever the fuck. I don't think it's that anymore.
Play?
No, he might want to play. He's tried out, but I just don't. Maybe he's just not good enough anymore. It's very listen, on the end of his career. Keep in mind, everybody forgets.
I've seen this.
He was benched.
Yeah,
he was benched, and because he stunk. So,
I've seen
what makes everybody believe that? Oh, I don't know. It's been 10 years since Colin Kaepernick. You should probably call him. Like it's also been that long, so he might stink.
How long before Geno Smith gets punched in the face again?
Remember that? That was good times. That was fun, bro. Broke his jaw. That's when the straight outta memes were happening, and mine went viral. It was straight out of teeth, and it was just him like grabbed like ice on his jaw, and I made it. It was pretty good. Position battle. So yeah, Drew Lock. Antonio Gibson is losing reps to Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders. Yeah. So that's a big thing. Why? Gibson fumbles again. He had a fumbling problem last year. He fumbled again, put the ball on the carpet. That's what happens. So all you Antonio Gibson apologists out there, and I'm talking directly to AJ Bascone and Chris Gucci, who are again, they are a big Antonio Gibson apologist as I am for Zeke. So they go to battle for this guy for whatever reason, and he might be losing reps. So
that team's gonna be pretty good, man.
Who?
The Commanders. Their defense is really good, man.
They have a good defense, but when Carson Wentz is your fucking
producer
on offense,
Rube's coming in saying the Eagles are winning the NFC this year.
NFC or NFC East?
NFC this year. Either or.
It's too early to drink, Rube. Like, it's not even noon yet. Where are you spending your DraftKings winnings today? I'd like to know. Because one day I'd like to actually meet up with you and have a couple beers. On you, of course. But yeah, no, listen, the Eagles offense is definitely going to take some leaps forward, 110%. I'm not a complete Cowboys Cowboys eyeglasses on where everything has to revolve around Dallas. Eagles will be better this year. They're not there yet. They're not there yet. And I can't wait to look back at this. What is it? What's August 16th? It's going to be like February. The Eagles are going to be hoisting the trophy. And we're like, well, do you know what Dave said in August? He said they're not even going to make the playoffs.
I was reading horse shit, right?
Listen, Eagles are a special
Heroes.
breed of people, Eagles fans. I'm talking to you, Danny. I know Danny DeJesus is watching the show right now. Big Eagles guy. You know what's funny? In Chop Sports, did you by any chance see the chat yesterday or the group yesterday where there was an old conversation about Carson Wentz that was brought up? Shout out to Keith. Well, my boy Keith Ernst was involved in it. John Gracie was involved in this. And they put a side bet up last year that Carson Wentz, Gracie said no. Ernst said yes, that Wentz would lead the Colts to the playoffs. And they put a $50 bet on it.
Okay.
Gracie went back and found this from last year and commented like, yo, here's my Venmo. Bro, legendary. I was like, wow, you talking about keeping receipts, man. Holy shit.
We haven't seen
$50
Commander Carson in the comments.
He must hate me now at this point.
No, well, he's he's
deployed.
He's overseas.
He's over so hopefully he's okay. Shout out to the troops over there. The only thing I would say that's alarming and concerning, I don't want to bash on Daniel Jones too much because he did have a whole first down. But I've been seeing him throw the football. Kenny Galladay's also not impressing me much. The Giants might be in a bad way again this year, man.
Not practice. He just doesn't care.
He just sucks. He just sucks. It's a waste of money. Look, the Giants, the Jets, the Cowboys, the Yankees, the Mets, they all make signings at one point or another where you're like, oh, that's a bad signing. The Kenny Galladay money is so far it's bad spent. It's bad spent. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. You know,
I agree with it.
I don't think anybody out there banging on the door for Kenny Galladay.
0 touchdowns last year.
0.
He hasn't fucking proven
Cowboys
anything.
offensive lineman caught more touchdowns than Kenny Galladay last year. True.
He hasn't proven anything. And
no.
If he shows me something this year to make me be like, oh, okay, it doesn't look too bad. But
first of all, Ken Paulman coming in saying Carson never had a wide receiver like Terry. There's a man over in Indianapolis named Michael Pittman Jr. He's nasty, very good receiver. And I would take Michael Pittman Jr. over Scary Terry right now. So that's just me. You can say what you want. Carson Wentz is a bad quarterback. There's nobody in the world on this planet who can defend him right now and say, like, well, he was on MVP type thing before. Yeah, and then Big Dick Nick came out and won the Super Bowl. T.Y. Hilton. Yeah, well, he was old. He's aging. It's an aging T.Y. Hilton. On the injury front, Drake London hurt his knee. He's not going to be out long term, so let's not go too crazy about that. That's the kind of the week one wrap. I'm going on and on and on, and I want to get to the meat and potatoes, which are the biting kneecap Detroit Lions. Before we do that, I do want to ask you guys, all of you guys watching the show right now, if you are worried about your money in retirement, well, don't worry. Act now. Talk to my guy, Michael Fusco, of the Fusco Insurance Agency. You got nothing over there. I didn't load it up, so don't even worry about it. Will your family be okay? Stop worrying. Start planning. Michael Fusco can help. As president of the Fusco Insurance Agency, Michael will work with you to create a comprehensive retirement plan. He'll explore using life insurance and annuities to help you build a more secure future so you can worry a little bit less right now. Call 718-701-5787 to schedule your complimentary consultation. 718-701-5787. Guarantees and protections are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company. Some insurance policies are not available in all states. Said that all in one breath. That was the goal. I did it. I achieved it.
Before you do the manscaping,
what happened?
We have a special request from the listeners. They would like you to do it in the Adam Schefter
special request. Okay. Manscaped as Adam Schefter, even if I'm the only one who finds it amusing. Well, sources have said that Chop Sports has signed an agreement long-term with Manscaped.com. If you enter the promo code Chop Sports, you'll receive 20% off with incentives to get the ball hair remover and crop preserver. It was getting good. It was getting good. You can use the crop reviver right now, exclusive to just your nuts and your nuts alone. I love Schefter. I really do, but he's just getting so intolerable.
What's the promo code?
The promo code is Chop Sports. You can go do that by heading on over to manscaped.com. Promo code Chop Sports. So that's that. Also, special shout out to SteveSparrer.com for building Chop Sports Media's new website launching on September 1st. And then, of course, there's Who else there? Of course, there's datchat.com, which is a brand new app. It's got blockchain, NFTs. I'm learning a little bit. Shawn Michaels came out with an NFT yesterday, and I was like, I should buy it because I'm a massive mark, right? But I'm just like, I still don't know what the fuck it is. So it's like, go buy my. Now I'm doing the whole show in Schefter. Go buy my digital picture, and all of a sudden, it's going to be worth $1 trillion. Anybody have any ideas? No NFTs for you.
Fucking idea.
I'll just screenshot it and have it myself.
Well, that's the first thing I said. I was like, wait a minute, like how? And of course, like in Dat Chat, for instance, if you screenshot something, nothing comes up. Like if you see something on social media, you're like, oh, this person, that son of a bitch, I got him. And you try to screen, nope, try again.
Pretty cool.
It's privacy, baby.
And does it tell you like someone tried to like Snapchat will tell you if you screenshot something from Snapchat, it'll be like this person screenshotted your thing.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I'm kidding. I love Snapchat.
But yeah, so on Snapchat,
I knew about that. Yeah,
but like, that's what it does. Yeah,
I'm in trouble now. Like, all those stories that I was just saving. From Alexa Bliss, all that shit. But no, I don't even have fucking Snapchat at this point anymore. I have enough social media. I don't need another platform to do the same goddamn thing I do on Instagram. And I'm on the TikTok now, and got like 225 followers. Nobody gives a shit about my videos, but I'm using it for my sit down with Sturch. That's what I'm using it for. And that's my story. So anyway, 2022 Detroit Lions, baby. Listen, first of all, I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks last week. It was fantastic. Why? Because everything that Hard Knocks does is it's goosebumps right away. You hear the music. I probably work out to the music. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I put the soundtrack of Hard Knocks on, pretending like one day I'm going to be athletic enough to be an NFL player. And that ship has sailed. But what I will say is Hard Knocks is great. What we learned about Dan Campbell is that he's an absolute psychopath. If you didn't know it already, we also learned that Jamal Williams is probably one of the funniest dudes in the league. I don't know how that translates to the field, but again, he's a great guy. So the 2022 Detroit Lions, as we preview these guys, I do want to shout out GoPro Wrestling. I want to shout out Arcadia, JT Dunn, guys that I know are Lions fans. They exist in there somewhere along the line. Damian Gibbs, my former tag team partner, the Prince of Aesthetics. He's a Lions fan. So that's four. That's four Lions fans that I didn't know existed ever.
Feel bad.
So now the stadium is going to have four people in it for their games. Now, listen, last year, 3-13-1. Not the ideal situation. However, they were cover machines. If you're a Kyle Kerms sauce person, you can head on over there. His channel is actually linked to ours. But they covered a lot. They scratched and clawed a lot. No pun. I know they're Lions. But they're this is like a dad joke century, just constant dad jokes all day. But the Lions, they were scratching and clawing. Rawr. They lost a lot of close games, and a lot of it fell on the shoulders of Jared Goff. A couple of times they had to go to their backup. Their depth chart is, but I'll say key losses. They lost Trey Flowers and didn't resign him, and he hasn't signed anywhere yet. So I don't know how much of a loss that is. There's nobody really of note that they lost from last year's team. There's a lot of guys that listen, when we cover these teams, when I'm not knee deep in research of these teams, if they don't stand out to me, that means that they probably weren't a standout. You know what I mean? Usually I know all of pretty much everything. But I would say that the Lions, a lot of their free agents that walked out the door were looking for greener pastures and more successful situations, right? They signed their own. They re-signed a couple of their own guys. Free agency, they weren't big players. The draft, I think they crushed. Aiden Hutchinson, obviously the second overall pick in the draft, and then they get Jameson Williams at 12. Jameson Williams is going to miss a little bit of time, but again, you add him to that wide receiver core.
They signed a running back too, right? Didn't they sign a big name running back?
No, I mean they got Swift already, and they have Jamal Williams.
He was always there. Williams?
Well, he was there. He came from Green Bay. 2 years ago.
So
he was there last year. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what's going on in the chat, but.
The roar. They said the roar got them going when you did the roar.
Hey, listen, you had to pay extra for that, Scoop. Anyway, so going over to the depth chart for the 2022 Lions, they're coming into the season as the 24th power rank team. So clearly, Vegas is looking like, hey, listen, by the way, 6.5. We want you to double your wins from last year, which I might be on board with if we go down the schedule in a second. So Jared Goff has been the topic of conversation. Can he get the thing done? He gets traded out of LA like he's going to be a nobody. Blah blah blah. There are Jared Goff apologists out there. I'm not really one of them yet. I do like the guy. You know, I think he's a phenomenal person, I guess, from all the interviews, but like thrower of the football, left to be desired. Swift, great running back. I think he's going to be a top 10 running back in fantasy sports. And in probably, if he stays healthy, a top 10 back, top 5 back in the league, rushing yards, touches, all that stuff. A lot of volume over there. The receivers, like I said, they drafted Jameson Williams, but they do have Amon-Ra St. Brown coming back. They have DJ Chark, They got him. They got Josh Reynolds, who is a big guy. I think he caught the one touchdown, the second touchdown last year, one of the games. So their receiving core is good. Dan Campbell's a former tight end, a good tight end at that. Mm-hmm. His tight end is TJ Hawkinson, one of the best in football. Yep. One of the best in football, bar none. I stay there and I stand by that. So I do like their offense. The problem is their offensive line is ranked 26th in the NFL. Penny Sewell was obviously drafted last year. They're continuing to build. It's a very young offensive line, so I'm a little worried about that. I'm not completely sold on it, but again, these young guys, they sometimes they can make a name for themselves relatively early and fast. The problem is last year, as we switch over to the defense, I guess their biggest name right now is Michael Brockers. And like I told you guys before, Jeff Okudah was taking reps at corner. And then obviously Hutchinson, what they expect out of him when you're the second pick in the draft, they expect big things. He's a Detroit guy. He's from Michigan, so that whole story is really cool. But last year, the Detroit Lions were 32nd in the league in defense. Mm-hmm. They were 32nd against the run, 31st against the pass. Their defense needs some work. But fortunately for them, they do play in a division with the Bears. And I'm looking at their schedule, and this is as follows. They start their year with Philadelphia. Now, as much as Rube wants to come in and say, like, oh, Philadelphia is going to win the NFC.
Home or away?
This is in Detroit.
Okay.
Watch this one. I don't know what the spread is right now, but whatever it is, money line those Lions. I think the Lions win game 1 and get people excited. Okay, when you beat Philadelphia in Detroit, I think people are going to get a little excited.
Week 1, new regime, right?
Right. So. Loaded with talented coaches, right? Like literally half the former NFL is employed over there.
Right, and saying, and Eagles are winning this game by 38.
Okay, I will put money to that if you'd like to. If you'd like, I know you're a gambling guy. You're part of that that clique. I would say I would put money to that. A fat $100 that they don't win by more than 38. So if you want in on that action, I'm with you. Anyway, the Lions are starting 2-0, guys, just so you know, as they beat the Washington Commanders in week 2 in Detroit. Lions are 2-0. People, heads will turn. People will be like, whoa, this is the Lions here. What's going on? And then they're going to lose on the road in Minnesota. So then people are like, oh, okay, never mind. So nobody get too excited about the Lions. But then they got Seattle. So you're looking at this first 4 games and you're like, wait a minute. This schedule is favorable here. Okay. I got them starting 3-1. The Lions, the Detroit Lions, I have them starting 3-1, and their fans, all 4 of them, will get very excited over this. And they're going to start saying, like, I told you guys, young team, hungry. Let's find out,
So they already have last year's win total.
They've matched last year's win total in the first 4 weeks. The first month of the season, they're going to get to 3-1. Then they're going to go to New England and maybe throw up a stinker there. And I'm not buying in New England either.
But that's a close game.
It is going to be a close game. I just don't like Detroit on the road as much as I do when they're in Ford Field. Right. So 3-2, and then an early bye. I hate these early buys for these, but it might work for a young team because they have a little bit more stamina rather than all the old heads who need that bye right in the middle of the season. This one's at week 6. So I got them at 3-2 at the bye, right? They come off the bye. They come off the bye and they go to Jerry World in Dallas. And I don't think you're getting that win. I'm sorry. I don't think I actually might go to that game. Ready for this? What?
Toast coming in with week 1.
Beautiful. Give me all of that. Give me all of that toast.
Toast coming in with the
with the clutch. But anyway, I might actually go to this game in Dallas against Detroit in Dallas. You know why? Dallas plays Detroit on a Sunday at 1:00, right? I'll be obviously totally inebriated where I can't speak at the game and go to Texas Live after that, right? Great place. The following Monday, the next day, who are the Yankees taking on in the last series of the year? The Texas Rangers. Right across the street.
Why not?
Shit. Give me that credit.
Tickets probably be cheap for the Yankee game.
Hell yeah. Dude, the Rangers can't. You talk about the Yankees stinking. The Rangers really stink. Anyway, so going back, they lose to Dallas. So they go to 500. The biggest toss-up game I have in the first 8 weeks is week 8 against the Dolphins. This game is in Detroit. So I love the home field. I just don't know if that defense being ranked as bad as they were and what people are starting to say about the Miami Dolphins offense, it's down into the nitty-gritty of the season. You're into the meat of the season. The Dolphins might be rolling at this time. I don't know. That's a toss-up to me. And then the following week, they stay home against the Packers. I think, Aaron Rodgers takes care of business. At the Bears in week 10, I got him winning that game. Okay. So we're cruising around the 4, maybe 5 win mark here. Then they're at the Giants, and as much as the shit I talk about the Giants at home are a different breed. I think they always play a little better. The Lions on the road, I'm not sure about it. So give me the Giants in that game.
It's also late in the year.
It is later in the year. It might be getting a little colder. I don't know. Then they got the Bills. They're not going to win that game. Then they got the Jaguars. I think they can win that game. That's in Detroit. So again, these wins could kind of start piling up. You never know. Home against the Vikings, at the Jets. I got them splitting that, taking out the Vikings at home, losing to the Jets. They go 0-2 at MetLife this year. That's unfortunate for the 4 Lions fans that I'm addressing right now. I know you guys will probably go to these games, both of them, and I don't think you're going home happy, either one of them. And then at Carolina, another toss-up. Who's the quarterback in week 16 at Carolina? You would think Baker Mayfield, right? Unless God forbid something happens to him or he just completely sucks, then it's somebody else like a Matt Corral. If the season is completely lost, you might want to get the kids some reps. And then they got the Bears, which is another win. And unfortunately, they end their season with the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay in the snow, more than likely.
Yikes.
So I am going to give the Detroit Lions, just based off of what I saw here on the schedule and based off of what I've already seen on Hard Knocks, and I'm going to be tuning in again tonight. Give me the Lions to finish 7-10, 7 wins, and get me over that projection. Give me the over on the Detroit Lions in 2022. I firmly believe this, that coaching staff is too good. That running back is too good. The defense is what scares me. But maybe if Hutchinson is one of these guys that, he's being touted heavily. So if he actually plays to his potential, he could be a nightmare for some of these quarterbacks. Maybe some of the slower quarterbacks, where he gets to them very easily. The Detroit Lions, I'm with it, man. I'm with the Detroit Lions. Why does the Packers always get they always play a division game, by the way. So it's either going to be one of 3, so 3 others. It's always going to be a division game in week 18. Going forward.
Who do they have on Thanksgiving this year?
Who, Detroit?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. What day is that? It's a home game, so it's got to be the Dolphins? No.
24th, 25th. Last weekend of November.
I didn't write down the dates. So I'm curious. Yeah, Dallas has the Giants, obviously, on Thanksgiving, and I think the nighttime game might be the Saints again. Saints seem to be locking up that nighttime
Giants
slot.
Cowboys, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty dope Thanksgiving.
No, not really. not if you're a Cowboys fan and you haven't been able to enjoy Thanksgiving in the last, 3 years. I feel like it's been a long time. Always Detroit. He says it's always Detroit. Well, guess what? It's the shit end of the stick. We call that. It's the Bills on Thanksgiving.
Yikes! At 12:30. So at least you get to watch
Josh Allen carve him up and then carve up his own turkey. That's gonna be rough. That's tough sledding. Yeah, it's week 12.
Guess they're gonna get the John Madden turkey, whatever.
Turkey leg. But anyway, so I'm optimistic. I think the Lions could do some damage. I do. I think they're gonna win some games. I think they're gonna be in a lot of games that you would expect them to get blown out, and they're in it, and then they just kind of lose on a last second kind of freak thing. I like the coaching staff. I like the Lions this year, man. You guys agree? Are you sold on them at least getting better than 3-13, Rob? 3-13 last year, better than that? Based off the schedule I just read off.
Yeah, they could definitely pull 5-6 wins.
All right, so you're looking at the under. If it's 6.5, you're looking at the under here.
Well, when I hear they're playing the Patriots and the Giants, the Bears twice, to me that's 4 wins automatic.
Oh, you got them beating the Giants in MetLife?
I would think so.
Okay.
I just, as long as this team's rolling and the defense gets going a little bit, the Giants really don't show me nothing to be worried about.
Listen, I would love the Giants to be a dumpster fire again. Trust me when I tell you that. But again, there's going to be weeks where.
And then they play the Seahawks, so that's another win. So they're going to be right around there.
There he is. I was waiting for him to pop in. Jamie Silverberg is in the comments right now. Are we bearing down tomorrow? We are absolutely bearing down tomorrow. I'm actually going to hit up your boy today. And unless you want to jump on Jewissaurus, if you want to jump on, I didn't. That's not a knock. He was the Jewissaurus in wrestling. So I didn't know. Jewissaurus, the Jewish dinosaur. But anyway, yes, we are bearing down tomorrow as we go in descending or ascending order from the bottom. So the Lions, and then we'll have the Bears, and then we'll have on Thursday. Get it? No, anybody? Thursday will be the Minnesota Vikings, and then Friday we'll finish off with Gooch's Green Bay Packers. So that's that. That's the Lions. Brand new sit down with Sturch goes down today. I got Joe LaCorey coming in here. I think he's bringing his guitar, so we might get some actual music in here in the studio and see what we can pull out of here. I don't know if I should be releasing this information, but potentially Till Mets Do Us Part, who have been doing a phenomenal job on the Chop Sports Podcast Network. They are doing great over there. Guest after guest after guest. They may or may not have landed Howard Johnson to come on their show and talk some Mets baseball. So tune in for that. Listen,
good for them.
The older folk, like a Howard Johnson, like these guys, I don't know if they're always like, yeah, I'll do it. And then like the show times and it comes and they're like, I don't know how to work my computer. You know what I mean? And then you're screwed. But I think that based off of what Ibby and Saponaro have done over there, we're bringing in some high marquee guests. I think it's a great get for Till Mets Do Us Part. So go check those guys out as the Mets continue to roll right into, I mean, hopefully they bounce back. I mean, they have to win this game, these games against the Braves if they want to put the foot on the throat, which I already kind of think it is, but the Braves aren't going away. So that's why you got to kind of get it done.
Twitter is going nuts because there's a video of Kevin Durant and Tatum working out together.
Kevin Durant and Tatum?
And Tatum working out together. Yes.
What is this, like the curtain call in the garden? Like, you can't hang out with him. He's a bad guy. Like, what is that? Let him fucking play
Day
basketball.
One of joint practices, and the Patriots and Panthers are fighting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go on. The Cowboys got a bunch of joint
players
practices.
were tossed out of practice.
Soft ass motherfucker. Everybody's soft, dude. This is such a joke. Oh, there's a big fight. Brr. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. See if I'm getting roasted. Yep. Oh, Twitter blew up. I am roasted here. Yep. It's all because of
Election Day?
Yeah, the Election Day stuff. You knew that was going to happen.
All these Patriots.
Yeah, all you hard-working, hard-nosed Americans out there like, folks, you got to vote for me again, folks. What a time. What a time to be alive, where the NBA is revolving their schedule around Election Day. Remember when we had Columbus Day off?
10 days into the year. Yeah. 10 days into the year.
Anyway, so that's the show. Internet held up. As it gets choppy right now. How funny is that? I think it held up for a little while. So anyway, tomorrow we got our jam-packed show. Obviously, all the sports go down today. Yay, sports, as some of our fans say. But yeah, that's going down tomorrow. Gooch will be back in studio. The band will be back together. You know, it's funny. Gooch hasn't done 2 shows in a row, dating back to Friday. He hasn't been here since Thursday.
From last week? You mean?
Yeah.
The week before that?
No, he was in here Friday, wasn't he? No.
Today's only Tuesday, though.
No, but I'm saying he wasn't here yesterday. Well, we didn't have a show yesterday.
Yeah.
And then he's not here today. And he wasn't here on Friday.
Oh, so 2 days ago. Yes, he's missed. Yeah.
Shit.
The people need Gooch. Where is he, guys?
Do they?
I don't know. I'm just saying, he hasn't been here in a while, so I'm asking.
Gooch, good luck with all your endeavors today. Hopefully you come back a new man. No surgery. no, nothing's happening to Gooch. Everything is fine. Life is life. Let's see. Fighting over retirement. That's good. Fighting over the rights to Cam Newton's number.
He's not backing up anybody, is he?
Nowhere.
No, right?
Nowhere.
That's a shame, too.
I'm waiting for the first quarterback to really get hurt, and then they'll call Cam. Cam will be the first one called.
You would think the Jimmy G situation would have got heated up.
To me,
too.
the Jimmy G thing is like mind-numbing to me. I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know what clearly Trey Lance is your starting quarterback, and he looked good. He threw a 75-yard bomb the other night.
He might be scary.
He might be good. And you know what? Maybe he jumps up some draft boards in fantasy. Who knows? But what I will say is poor Jimmy G right now, because right now you are listed as a backup. You're making a shit ton of money, by the way, to be a backup. I said that he was too good and too respected around the league to just be cut.
Yeah.
It has to be dealt, you would assume. I don't know what the compensation could be. I want to say maybe the Niners can get a third.
I don't think
a decent third.
I don't think they want him going to the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks would 100% take him.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to go in division.
But what are you going to? You're just going to hold them? Nobody else is.
I mean, if they can afford it, if they can afford the price tag, then yeah, you let him run on the bench.
That's crazy.
It is what it is. You know, just let him go test the free agency when his contract's up. But right now, I think Jimmy G's value right now would be way more than what it would ever be next year or the year after that. Like his value right now, coming off, shoulder surgery and everything, I think his value right now is at its highest. I don't know what the 49ers will get. And I don't even know if there's been any offers. You would think some of these teams with like some question marks at quarterback. Bro, I tell you right now, the Giants
I don't
should
understand
call
I don't get
the
it.
49ers and say, hey, we'll give you a fourth, a sixth, a third, Saquon Barkley, a couple other guys, a couple other expendable pieces.
If they offer a third, somebody's taking them today.
That's what I'm saying. But like, you're telling me that it is a big cap number. Don't get me wrong. It's a massive cap number to take on your team right now when you're still trying to shore up your rosters.
But like a team like a Giants who hasn't paid Daniel Jones yet, and they have a question mark quarterback. I mean, this is Jimmy G's the right fit for that offense.
But they don't have the cap space to get him.
That's what I'm saying.
And
the Toast just said $24 million on the books this year for San Francisco. Imagine being that egotistical where San Francisco's like, it's just $24 million. It's no big deal. Like, come on.
What if so let's do a hypothetical. So let's say the Browns don't like the way Brissett's playing. And they don't like who else? What do they have? Josh Rosen as the fucking back.
Oh yeah, Josh Rosen.
They might make a trade for him if Sean Watson's out for the whole year, and then flip him next season.
Who I would say I'm curious to know who James Rube is coming in saying why would they? Who's they? Like maybe the Giants, or maybe he's talking about the Giants where he's trying to win.
Giants want a top 10 pick next year.
Oh well, then that's fine. Then you're right. Then in that case, then no. If they're trying to lose and be a dumpster fire of an organization,
that's terrible. I
hate when like you get this new regime and people are pumped. There's guys at Giants practice right now, and I've seen some wacky TikToks and reels that there's Giants fans that firmly believe that they're back in the saddle this year, that the Giants are going to win the division and do work. And I'm just like, how much is the booze over there, and how are they selling it?
I think that they might be a little bit better than they were the last few years, only because they have a competent coach for once. He's bringing in a new system that's
you say competent coach, but nobody's seen him coach. He's an offensive coordinator.
The
head coach is a whole different ballgame, bro.
I know it is. I know it is. But he's a key part in that offense.
Just wait, listen,
which is good.
New York has ruined people. The Mecca has ruined people. So imagine they get destroyed week 1, right? And like he's not. I don't know if I think he's got the thick skin for it.
That's 100% true, though.
He's going to get brutalized if they lose, and he's got to be able to do that time and time and time again.
You hear that often from so many players who have come from Kansas City or
like somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Look what happened to Joey Gallo. Bro, these guys come into New York, they get crucified by the media, crucified by the fan base, and they got to get the fuck out.
In Kansas City,
because it just doesn't work here.
Like 5 reporters come in the locker room. That's it. In New York, it's like 150 come in the locker room. It's culture shock.
All right,
Did you guys hear though about
Dayball's a top 10 coach? Yeah, how many wins does he have as a head coach?
But did you guys hear about the trade that could have happened the year the Giants drafted Saquon?
What?
No. The Broncos were willing to move so much draft capital and players to move up to number 2 overall that year.
Really?
And fucking Dave Gettleman didn't pick up the phone.
Hey, Gettleman. Oh, Gettleman sucked too, man. What a piece of garbage he was. Yes, Casey, I'll never forget that. That they took a knee in their own red zone. Yeah, well, I get it. That's what I'm saying. Gallo's out there contributing. He's still batting like 140 or whatever. He's still shitty, but like again, he's on a winning team, winning culture.
He's hitting opposite home runs.
And you would think Hollywood with all those fucking pussies out there, you think like it's all nice and easy out there. When you're in New York, man, it ain't easy. It is not easy. Try being like it's everybody. Everybody that comes here and doesn't succeed is literally crucified. Killed.
I 100% agree. In any sport. In any sport you come here.
No matter what, man. And look, when the team is doing good,
trash you.
Dave over McCarthy, not close. In size or weight, or what are we doing here? It's not easy, man. Look at if you're a success story, and let's look at the legends of New York and what they've done. Like, you could still talk about the 94 Knicks, and they're treated like royalty. You still look at the Yankees and the 86 Mets and the really good teams. All those guys are treated like royalty. But because these teams haven't done shit in so long, everybody that comes in, I was never one to call Henrik Lundqvist the king. Because I'm like, king of what?
Yeah.
You haven't done shit. And when he got to the cup and lost, I was like, well, you still haven't won a cup.
I agree.
So you're not the king to me. I couldn't get on that train. And that's a lot of these guys. When they come into New York, it's tough, man. But now he'll be worshipped because that's what fans have done now lately. And this is truth be told. Fans are clamoring and they love mediocrity. That's why I can't stand some of these Cowboys fans too. When they're all like, "This is our year." Oh, okay, cool. Win a couple games first, and then we'll start talking about winning games in a year. But like, listen, I said it last night on my Twitter, and it wasn't in lieu of anything I read. Like the Yankees just lost. I saw a bunch of bad tweets about the Cowboys. I'm like, man, you negative people suck. Like, how do you guys live? How do you guys actually go out there every day and live your life as just a negative Nancy? I don't understand it. Just be positive, right? But it doesn't mean as a member of the media or a member of you know, if you have a show or whatever, or even just a fan, like what good is being a fan if you're not optimistic that they could turn it around eventually? If they're having a bad run right now, like for every person that's jumped off the ledge about the Yankees in the last couple of weeks, stay off the ledge. Stay there. I don't want you back in October when they're up 3-1 on the Astros and they could possibly go to the World Series. Don't come back. And I say that about every fan base. If you want to talk shit about your team right now, like the world is and the sky is falling on you, we, as a fan base, the loyal fan base, we don't want you back.
I hate seeing that shit. Like, oh, I'm done with this team.
Look at the Jets. Like, the Jets, bro. They haven't done shit since Namath. You know, like bro. They won with Sanchez. Great. But like, you can't, like, the Jets fans are like, this is going to be like we're the Jets. They'll just fuck it up. Like, no, how about you got a new coach, get a little excited. You got a new quarterback, get a little excited. You got a couple new players in the draft, get a little excited. Get excited. It's not going to translate to wins, but at least like it'll make you live a little better. Yeah. Like live a little better, man. It's ridiculous to see these fans out there just completely shitting all over their teams every day. Like what you are literally walking around as Randy Quaid from Major League. That's your lifestyle, and it sucks. And I just don't want to hear you guys anymore. You're annoying.
Casey Hammond's right though. Guys like Parcells and Coughlin exceeded well because they
can handle it, right? Yeah, like, and you know what happened when Parcells, ready for this? I know Parcells is a Jersey guy, so like he was bred here, right? Does the Giants thing, wins the Super Bowls, goes to the Jets, kind of all right, turns that team around, goes to the Patriots, then the Jets, whatever the case, and then he goes to the Cowboys. And as soon as he realized that the team was like starting to trend in a direction where it was all about the player over the coaching, like T.O. was starting to really talk, chirp. Parcells was like, "That's cool, I'm fucking done," and he just left.
But he knew Romo was special, like right away.
But he also said, "Don't put him in Canton yet." Get the anointing oil away. Don't do that. Don't jump be optimistic, but don't be a Debbie Downer every time something goes wrong.
Are you a guy who thinks Romo is going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Unfortunately, he won't get into the Hall of Fame.
He ain't going to make it.
If he gets into the Hall of Fame, maybe it'll be in like 50 years as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
As a broadcaster.
Well, broadcasters, he'll get it.
Because I think he's a phenomenal guy to listen to. Yeah. I know everybody's like, he sucks. Like, no man. Like, Romo is one of the best guys in the business right now. And if you don't agree, you're a Cowboy hater and you just can't find yourself liking, Tony Romo because he played for the Cowboys. But Tony Romo was a fantastic analyst. And the whole like calling the plays before they happened when he first started, like that was just him showing you how smart he was at the game of football. There's nothing to get mad at. Oh man, just stop calling the run plays, Tony. Like, no, just keep doing your thing, bro. But as a quarterback, no, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. And I don't think Eli Manning should get into the Hall of Fame either, but he will. He will because of the 2 rings.
Super Bowls. Yeah. And because of who it was against, too, though.
Yeah, it'd be Tom Brady.
Undefeated.
But if you look at his numbers, like Tony Romo and Eli's numbers, if not, Romo has a couple better stats. But again, you win those rings, you're walking in. You're doing a moonwalk.
The Giants just announced they're adding 6 players to their ring of fame. Otis Anderson, Rodney Hampton,
Joe
Rodney
Morris,
Jimmy
excellent.
Patton, Kyle Rote, and Ronnie Barnes.
Okay,
I remember Rodney Hampton, running back, number 27. It's like one of the first Giants I remember.
James Rube coming in saying the Bears are going to be the worst team in football this year. That's just being honest. And that's not actually being a downer. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think your team's going to suck based off the roster that you have, that's another thing. But in a couple years, when you have all this draft capital and Justin Fields start coming around, you're going to feel differently because you might be better. But like if you're like sitting like, well, the Bears stink this year and they're going to stink for the rest of my life, like that's a shitty fan. If the Cowboys right now, I think they took a step. Everybody's like, oh, the Cowboys took a step back. I don't believe that. I believe they actually removed a couple of their headaches.
Do you agree with Stevie Mack that Dallas front office didn't do enough for Romo?
I mean, do enough for Romo? I don't know about
weapons.
I mean, he had some way. He played with T.O.
I remember.
He made Miles Austin. He made that dude. And then he had Des Bryant. So like Romo had tools, and he had Jason Witten his entire career. Like the third and Witten, you know, like, oh, when all else fails, throw it to Witt. You know what I mean? Romo had a great career. The problem with Romo's career is that he was plagued by injuries. He got hurt a lot. You know, he choked in the big game, meaning like he dropped one snap, threw a pick against the Giants. Everybody's like, the choke artist. Like, he's not. Then he beat the brakes off Philly the following year. You know what I mean? Twice in a row. Literally week 17 and then wild card round. Beat him up twice. So to call him a choke artist or anything like that is kind of stupid. He had a couple bad plays, but I think it's more the injuries. He was just like hurt a lot. Yeah. And then that's what ended his career. You know, he breaks his back. I remember watching it live. Dude, I tell you what, that's a crazy story. I was trying to get access to a Dallas Cowboys preseason game to watch them play Seattle that day, right, with Tony Romo. And I finally, bro, after jumping through hoops of trying to find a stream or something, because it was Dallas-Seattle preseason game 1. Nobody's going to air that shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, I got to see this. I'm a fucking nut. I literally got the game to finally play on the play that Romo got hurt. And then that was it. And Mr. Rain, Dakota Prescott, took over the Dallas Cowboys. Never look back. Too many fans are on the Raleigh. Oh, God, it's a good one. Oh, Raleigh. Miss them, sort of. Not really, but sort of. A little bit. Romo is the best field goal holder in history. Good job, Sean. Okay. Is Sean still clamoring to his 1 Super Bowl ring as I shine up my 5?
Do you think Des caught it?
First of all, yes, he caught it.
Oh,
second of all, well, according to the rule, he didn't. But anything else, it's a catch. Like the ball is controlled and then pops up in his possession and re-catches it and everything. That's what happened. But the rule said, oh, he didn't make a fucking. He said, Des to this day says, I was extending for the goal line, and when the ball hit the ground, it popped up, and then he still had it. He caught that ball. But again, I'm not. There's no fucking way. 8 years later, I'm gonna be like, and let me tell you why Des caught it. I'm not gonna do that. We're overtime here, folks. Anyway. Guys, thank you so much for watching another solo edition of the Chop Sports Daily. My credit, of course, to the producer, Rob, and, of course, Angry Man over here, Nick. He dropped a lot of F-bombs today, bro. I was like, how's everything okay? You're okay over there?
I'm all right.
It's his final week, so we'll get him on camera this week, along with Madison. Madison's last day is Thursday as well. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please, if you haven't already, please like the video. Those are big things for us to get searched in the algorithm of all 4 of those Detroit Lions fans. They want to see and hear what I have to say about the Lions, and then they're going to comment post-show and say you suck and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. Comment goes a long way as well. The chat, always booming. You guys are great. Shout out to everybody in the chat today. KC, Sean, Jay Silva, Hawaii Mike. I love Rube. He's the man too, as much as, you know, he trolls the shit out of me online every day. I love Rube. He's one of my favorite people. And everybody else who's chimed in, Scoop, everybody. Scoop, come get your helmet, by the way, or I'm going to sell it. So with that being said, for Sturch, Wrestling Rob over there, Nick behind me over here to my left, this has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. We'll see you guys back here, right here on this channel. Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow.
Peace.